For more on how some states are coping with the unprecedented heat and the effects of climate change, let's bring in Oregon Governor Kate Brown. Governor, thanks so much for coming back on the show. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
Your state is certainly dealing with another triple-digit heat wave. You declared a state of emergency earlier this week. Of course, in June, Portland set a record with a 116-degree day, Salem 117. Many homes in Oregon are just not equipped for this kind of heat. Your state is already dealing with one public health emergency with COVID. Are the effects of climate change another public health emergency?
Absolutely. Certainly in the June heat event, we lost over 100 Oregonians. Our forests are burning up and our rivers and our lakes are drying up. 93% of the state is in either extreme or severe drought. And these heat conditions are very challenging for communities that, frankly, are not used to them. And we know that these climate events impact our communities of color, our low-income communities, and our rural communities the hardest.
Earlier this month, you penned an op-ed in the New York Times, and you were talking about Oregon when you said climate change is playing out here now with a fury, but it will be in your backyard next. People are dying. It may be perhaps a bit morbid to say, but at this point, does the old adage, adapt or die, truly apply to those in Oregon?
Absolutely. The good news is we are taking action under my leadership. We've moved forward on a number of bills and taken action to tackle climate change. I signed into law a couple weeks ago the most aggressive clean energy bill in the country, moving us to 100% green energy by 2040. We are continuing to make progress toward EV infrastructure and ensuring that moderate and low-income families can access this new green technology. And as governor, I signed an executive order to cap carbon emissions.
Now, you've just detailed really some of the specific changes that you are outlining. What can the residents of your state and beyond do in order to deal with these increasingly frequent extreme weather events?
So we are asking people to be more emergency prepared. And we've been preparing for a 9.0 earthquake in this state for a number of years. But it's clear that these climate change events are going to be very different, and we're going to have to be very prepared. So in February, we had devastating ice storms. Over 500,000 people lost power. Last fall, we had horrific, unprecedented wildfires. We lost over 4,000 homes. And as you mentioned, this summer, we've had multiple heat events. So we're asking folks to be 2-week ready. That means having non-perishable food items, enough for a family for 2 weeks, and also have water available. And then, of course, asking all Oregonians to sign up to oralert.gov. So they can get text messages when we know these events are coming.
And as you've just touched on, fire season has already devastated the state and really the globe. We've covered fires in California, Oregon, Turkey, Greece, Siberia just this week on our show. At a certain point, as a leader in a fire-prone state, do you have to consider whether residents should be rebuilding at all in fire-prone areas or just relocate entire communities?
Yes, the advantage of Oregon is that we've had a very strong land use planning system since the early 70s that preserves both forest and farmland. And the goal of that legislation, and frankly, the system, is to make sure that we have fewer residents in the urban wildland interface. But I have to say, what is different in the last few years is that we have an incredibly strong partner in the White House. President Joe Biden, Vice President Harris have stepped up. They are working with Western governors to create a comprehensive, collaborative approach to fighting wildfires. And we really appreciate their leadership.
Before you go, I do want to ask you a question about the pandemic. Effective tomorrow, Oregon will reinstate its indoor mask mandate just 6 weeks after lifting it. Do you regret at all lifting the mask mandate in the first place? And do you feel at all that it'll be hard to get the public's buy-in again at this point, especially among the vaccinated?
No, we reached the goals that President Biden had set. We had 70% of our adults vaccinated. The good news is that Oregon has We've made the really smart decisions and the tough choices we've had throughout the pandemic, one of the lowest infection rates and one of the lowest mortality rates. So it was time. However, Delta has changed everything. It is 3 times more transmissible, more contagious. It is more severe. And we are certainly seeing our hospitals and health systems being maxed out in terms of capacity. So the timing was right to take action. And that's what it's taken during the pandemic, quick and decisive action. And that's what I'm taking.
Oregon Governor Kate Brown, thank you so much. Appreciate you talking with us tonight.
Thank you. Be safe out there.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.